Hey drummers, little drum fill of the week for you. Here it comes. Here it is. Here we go. Something like that. So this is a great drum fill taken from a song called Couscous by Benny Greb, or at least the arrangement of it that appears in the Trinity regular Trinity Grade 7 syllabus. I should say as well, shout out to Superstar channel members Steven and Xenia, who are both working on this. And this is just a little 1-bar fill. There's a groove that goes with it, as you can hear there. The focus of this video is going to be the fill. On the channel members page, I'll actually do a notation and practice along for a version of the groove as well, if you want to learn that. But this is just about having a look at something and saying, wow, how cool is this, man? This is why one of the reasons I love studying drum grades, and I know I've waffled on about those a lot, is you go through them level by level and you hit these beautiful moments where you just think, oh, that's great, man. Like, that's just something I wouldn't have really sort of come up with myself. And of course, the great Benny Greb, needless to say, musical genius, has inspired us for several years now. And this is just a moment. I don't think this is actually note for note lifted from his version. This is just the arrangement from Trinity, but it's in the style of his lovely playing. And just by exposing your brain to these ideas, I just think this is so cool, because I personally find we get stuff from this, or I get vocabulary and ammunition for my own sort of creativity that I just wouldn't get if I just sat at the kit and jammed myself and only did my own stuff. So by taking in good quality, superb quality information like this, I find it puts me in a great position to be creative. So let's have a little look. The fill itself is 1 bar long, and it's pretty much 16ths all the way. So the rhythm is 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. But then on beat 4, we move to a sextuplet or semi-quaver 16th note triplets. 6 notes across 1 beat, 1 triplet and triplet, or rashers and sausages, or evenly, or 1 2 3 4 5 6, or whatever, no count at all, however you want to do it. But this is the first step. The rhythm of the fill is 1 2 3 4. So it's that change in note value at the end. 1 2 3 4. I would count it as 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1. Now, when you're playing this through the 16th notes, it follows a simple linear pattern, as in a combination of hands and feet that just repeat, and it goes kick, right, left. Now you're playing 16th notes, remember, but that idea, that musical phrase, or that little sequence of hits anyway, is only 3 notes long. So you can play that 4 times, right? Now I've made videos a little bit like along these lines before, and this is where people often get confused. People say, well, how could you play if it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3? How could it fit 4 times? It's because the pattern, the phrase that you're playing, or the sticking, so to speak, is 3 hits long, kick, right, left. And in 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a, like the first 3 beats worth of 16th notes in the bar, there are 12 notes. 4 times 3 is those 12 notes, right? So the fact that it's the thing you're playing is 3 notes long isn't really connected with the note value. It just happens to fit. So if you play a 3-note pattern 4 times, that is a total of 12 notes, right? 3 times 4 is 12. And 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a is also 12 notes. So they fit together. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. You got it? And then the sextuplet at the end is actually just single stroke roll, as in one stick and then the other. Like I say, a sextuplet on the snare drum. So 1 So I'll play it, rather than playing it with the funky sort of linear groove that I was playing earlier. I think I'll play with a nice straight head, straight 8s feel here, just so we can get a feel for it. Let's go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a Remember the note value at the end changes to sextuplets. Again, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 triplet and okay, we'll pick it up slightly and 4 and 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So remember, you're playing kick, right, left. This assumes you're right-handed. The right stick is always on the floor tom. The left stick is on the snare drum. If you're left-handed, obviously you reverse that. You play that 4 times, and just to labour the point, because people do ask, do have these questions come back a lot. Those notes are evenly spaced out. There's no gap after the 3 notes either. They are just like ticker tape, like evenly spaced hits. And when you play the beginning of the next little 3 notes, as in the kick comes around again, kick, right, left, kick. There's no gap. There's no like extra hold before you play that. The notes just flow, da 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 da. Obviously, until you hit the change note value on beat 4, the sextuplet. So again, I'll count as in 1 E and a 2 E and this is the drum fill. 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 3 and 4. A bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Now the thing that all depends obviously where you're at with your drumming. The thing that you might find tricky, having worked on this with a few drummers, is that change to sextuplets at the end. This comes down to one of the core basics, I would say, in the whole of playing the drums, which is just having your note values down, or your subdivisions, or whatever you want to call it. So this is classic practice, putting your metronome on, moving between quarter notes, eighth note triplets, 16th notes, 16th note triplets. I've got a video that does that with single stroke roll, so I'll link to that below in the video description. But that's the basic idea, isn't it? If you go back to just playing single stroke roll, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's just that change to sextuplets at the end. Okay, now I'm going to go back to playing like 3 bars groove, 1 bar fill just to finish here, and I'm going to play with the groove roughly as it appears in the tune. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third bar, here comes. Here it comes. Okay, cool. So I thought it was a lovely little moment, just a great example of like what the sort of thing that you would see in a grade 7. I thought was so cool and so usable, isn't it? And when you then take it and do your own thing with it. There are of course ways you could make changes to it. Learning a drum fill is only ever the starting point. You could change the way you move around the kit in the first bit. When you play the sextuplet, doesn't have to be on the snare drum. I found myself doing a little gagosh at the end, like smoothly going from the last left stick of all into a right stick on the crash. Or move around the kit on the sextuplets. Or maybe just take that last left, move it up to a tom-tom. The world is your oyster. It's only ever a starting point. So shout out to Steven and Xenia and anyone else learning Couscous by Benny Greb. And just to be clear, that's the arrangement from Trinity Drum Kit Grade 7. Not the same as the original, but in the style of the great man's drumming. Thanks for watching as always. Really appreciate it. See you soon.